Thank you, Madam Speaker. Like most new members will say, we've been waiting for quite a while. Being my maiden speech, let me start by congratulating all who've been elected, members of Parliament. I also want to go through a vote of thanks, first to the Almighty God for giving me this chance, to the people of Embakasi West who voted for me, to my family, my wife, my kids, my brother, and all those who campaigned with me in Embakasi West. I want to thank them for their support. Madam Speaker, it's obvious that my surname is quite common in Parliament, so I recognize that my father served in this house. Actually, I think he cut out his name seated right here. So without whom I wouldn't be here. And to those members who are on their third term, including yourself, Madam Speaker, at times a good name is its own reward. I also recognize some of my late father's friends who campaigned with me, the likes of Honorable Commander Ndolo. There are so many of them, I can't mention all their names, who supported me. And the Azimio family in Nairobi, comprising of Jubilee and ODM, I thank them. And also wish to thank the first Member of Parliament for Embakasi West, George Deuri, for his service, for conceding, and for his candor. I move on to Embakasi West, where during the campaigns there are quite a number of issues that we spoke, but I know I can't speak all of them here. But the people of Embakasi West require better infrastructure. They need better roads. I think my constituency has one of the worst roads in Nairobi County. We get water once a week or none at all. We have raw sewage. When it comes to education, my constituency has 14 public schools versus a population of 284,000. That makes, we have about 120 students in each classroom, and that's even on the lower side. One of my wards, Molem ward, has only one primary school, Umoja 1, Umoja 2. Those are two wards, they share one secondary school. And I come from a constituency where bursaries are issued on a first-come, first-served basis, and only the first 1,200 to queue benefit from those bursaries. Something has to change. My constituency land ownership is one of the biggest issues that we have. People don't have title deeds. One of my wards, which is Molem ward, which has a population of 89,000, 70% of the ward is unadjudicated land. So 70% of those people don't have titles. And whenever you hear of demolitions in Nairobi, this is the ward that always has the highest number of demolitions. So that has to come to an end. When I talk about women and youth empowerment, it's straightforward. They need funds, they need training, they need jobs, they need opportunities. That's what the women and the youth in my constituency have been lacking, and that's what they send me here for. And more so for the youth, even in our sports infrastructure. I come from a constituency where I don't have any stadium, I don't have public grounds where some of the young men can do their sporting activities. This is something that is quite unfair, considering that there are quite a number of these facilities in Nairobi, but my constituency lacks that. So those are some of the things and many others that I would want to really look at, and hopefully going forward will represent the people of Embakasi West. Madam Speaker, allow me, because even if we are past that issue, I didn't get a chance to contribute to the President's speech. There were some positives, at least CDF he spoke about retaining CDF, but as a Member of Parliament from Nairobi, I felt the 25% that is based on wards punishes some of us, because we have some of the most populous constituencies in Nairobi, and I believe this 25% should have considered population rather than the wards. So this is something that I would, going forward, I'd want to seek a review of this and hopefully get more funds for some of the Nairobi constituencies, as I'll explain a bit later on. I believe the president spoke about education and health, and that's good. But it is time this country, where the government should give us a direction. You know, CBC 844, we cannot gamble with the lives of our children. And some of us who are young are the ones who've got kids going through these schools. So we need to be sure. And we cannot be changing it every 10 years. So we need, whatever happens, whatever comes out, it must be final and it must last a generation. I think having the cabinet on the floor is a good idea, but this should not be a place for them to come grandstanding. They should respond and hopefully be fair and respond to both sides. The Hustler Fund, I think it's a good idea, but I felt the president's speech limited it. When he spoke, it will be issued through technology. That is not the promise that the president had told people when he was campaigning. I think at some point he had said he'd make it quite easy and be distributed by the members of parliament. The Hustler Fund should be made accessible and quite easy for people to apply. I also wish to note that our country seems to be suffering from a campaign hangover, and we saw it even here today. And it's time we need to accept that somebody won. We competed, elections are over, and we can't keep campaigning again. And I think the president said that he's the bigger brother now. And my colleagues from the other side need to recognize that they're the bigger brothers now. So let us not grandstand anymore. Let us allow our country to move forward. Yesterday I had the opportunity, the president was in Embakasi Central, and he visited my constituency. And some of the things that I felt he should have spoken in his presidential speech, he did it when he was out there, when he was going around. The majority leader today accused the leader of opposition, Raila Odinga, of going around. The president is doing that, and he spoke of some quite important issues. And it's at times during these public gatherings that we are able, actually that's why all of us are here. Without those public gatherings, none of us would have been elected. And yesterday I had the president speak about here in Nairobi increasing the number of schools, ensuring that we have title deeds. We sort out all the issues of land matters in Nairobi within 12 months. We open the markets. And then coming to the substantive motion, the school feeding program. Madam Speaker, I want to recognize that the governor of Nairobi has proposed that all members of Nairobi build kitchens so that he can facilitate the school feeding program through those kitchens. I would hope that the governor of Nairobi, and we thank him, that he would write to the members of parliament from Nairobi County and formally communicate this position to ensure that we can feed our children, especially here in Nairobi, because this is something that a lot of parents have, especially during our campaign times, were raising this issue quite a number of times. And I think this is long overdue. Those of us who were in school in the 90s remember Maziwa ya Nyayo. So it is nothing that is unheard of. And I think I want to support this motion. I think it is long overdue. And just as I conclude once again, I'd want to just reiterate that for those who have won, especially the government side, you need to bring the country together. The country is taking too long to heal. And we cannot accept, we can't let the country continue the same way. And we have a choice here. We can follow the Kibaki route, where Kibaki united, even despite Moi, who opposed his candidature. We can go the route that Kibaki took, or take a new route, which I don't think is the right one. So with that, I thank you, and I look forward to working with the rest of the members. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable Member. Now we'll go to the member for Mbeere North, Geoffrey Ruto.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I want to contribute to the motion on school feeding